how much does an extension cost? Or typically, how much should an extension cost in UK? Well, to answer that question without going around the houses, excuse the pun, is we're going to need the detail, okay? So really, if you're a homeowner or if you're an investor and you're wanting to quickly calculate how much it's going to approximately cost, you need a guideline estimate. Well, you can do that by having some principal costs. Therefore, you can do it square footage or square meterage. That's very rough, but it's a good start for an example of how much it potentially is going to cost. We don't advise using that method for accuracy, but for a stage one, finger in the air, how much approximately could it cost within 10 to 15% variance either way, metre square rate or square footage. There are rates such as £1,200 for a ground floor extension, and that variant could go from £1,200 up to £2,500, depending on where you are in the UK. Okay, if you're going to build a 2-storey extension, again, now you've got 2 floors. So the second floor isn't as expensive as the ground floor because you haven't got the substructure there. But again, you're now duplicating the floor space. So it could be £2,000 across the each floor, for example, meaning it's £4,000 a square metre. So again, little bit rough, but it gives you a guide price. Now, what we would suggest is that you build a relationship with your professional team, architects, quantity surveyors, estimators, or even your built team, depending how well they are equipped at calculating construction projects. And then speak with them and say, hey, this is kind of my budget and I want to achieve this. Well, you can firstly maximize your potential budget by saying, I want X, Y, Z. Okay, that's what you're kind of going to look like. If that is somewhere within reason, 10, 15% of where your costs are, you can move forward into more detailed costs. Okay, so within sort of like 48 hours, you could have your inception costs. Again, these are your quick metre square foot rates. Approximate extension in the UK allowed 2 to 3 weeks or even a month, depending on who you're working with and what their lead times are, to actually get your detailed costs. That's a more specific detailed costing of your extension. And that I would expect to be at least detailed summary costings broken down into different stages. So prelims, pre-construction. Then you're looking at if you have to do any demolition of an old, say, conservatory or an old extension, substructure, anything below ground, superstructure above ground. You've got then your roof to go on. What type of roof is it? You then got your internals. So your windows and doors, your infrastructure installations such as like your plastering, your first fix, electrical, plumbing and joinery works. And then again, your second fixes, kitchens, bathrooms, things like that. Okay. Finishing off with your flooring, decoration, tiling. So as you can see, that is a summary build of costs. In detailed costings, we would expect that you do at least a material and a labour split. And again, de-risk the project financially.